Cathedral was discussing budget estimates and the finance bill. Who would be opposed to such a discussion?
What is happening, the government is doing a lot of disservice to Kenyans, but they want to do it under cover of darkness. They do not want people to know. Yesterday, I was able to point out to Kenyans what was being passed under the supplementary 2 budget. That in the office of the deputy president, they had put 200 million Kenya shillings, and you know it is 2 weeks to go. And in the office of the president, State House, they had put 1 billion Kenya shillings. They had put 3.55 billion Kenya shillings for operations, for
2 weeks to the end of the financial
for recurrent, for NIS. They had put 1.55 billion Kenya shillings for recurrent, again in the office of CS, Mukurwe-ini. And counting that in total is 6.3 billion. Now, this supplementary budget is brought later in the day in Parliament, when members, of course, have been tossed up and down with the finance bill issue, and so they expect it's not going to have a lot of participation. But I was able to point out that, and when I stood, before I could talk for a minute, I was disrupted by a member from Migori. Before I could talk for another minute, I was disrupted by Ishongwa. Before I could talk another minute, I was interrupted by KJ. And I was disrupted, and that video you'll see, it is 17 minutes video. In that 17-minute video, I'm disrupted 6 times. Of course, I'm happy the speaker who was on the seat was graceful to allow me time to still proceed and reply and have responses. But you can see what these guys are doing is to ensure that the public will never get to know the truth. Can you imagine you are appropriating 6.3 billion Kenya shillings to the highest offices in the land? 2 weeks. Ni peremende kwao. They're supposed to chew 6.3 billion Kenya shillings before the end of this year. And when are we? When is the date today? 18th of June.
It's actually less than 2 weeks.
That is it. Now, that is the government we have today. Why won't they get goons to ensure that that information does not get to the public? Because public has become very aware and very awoke. And whenever they get information, they use it to take action against government. So the only thing the government is left with now is ensure that the information that is in those documents does not get to the public. That is why they will do anything. That is why they will disrupt meetings. That is why they will hire goons. And that is why they will disrupt parliamentary debates. If you see anyone who is telling Kenyans the truth and trying to unveil what is in those documents, especially very serious members of parliament who are able to go through those documents and pick out on the issues that government is pushing to Kenyans, then you find the kind of attitude and the kind of disruptions they face in parliament.
Yes.
So it's not a wonder that they're doing this. I mean, remember, for the longest time, we were told that Gachagua was hiring goons for himself, until one day God decided to reveal exactly what has been happening. And these guys were caught red-handed. And we understand that team was disbanded, a team of 15. But the names have been given to police. The names have been given on TV. The faces...
But no action taken.
Faces have been published by media houses, even by the opposition, even by churches. But no action has been taken.
What do you say to that?
We don't even expect action to be taken.
Even in this one, the latest one at the All Saints Cathedral, we do not expect action.
At least for the first time, I have had the head of police trying to talk tough. But also we understand that he's not in charge. He also doesn't understand, he doesn't even know how those things are done and how they are planned.
We've seen police action when associated and how effective it is in handling protests where thousands are involved. Goons are usually about 15, in groups of 15, 20. Are we saying police are unable to contain or even arrest or investigate such issues and take action?
And Mheshimiwa here should be